Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dirty Air. I'm Tony, my sister Katie. We're out in the swanky new garage setting, and we got done with another race on another Sunday. And we're gonna chop it up, talk about that, of course, talk about paint, maybe talk about Digger. You never know. so
Yeah, very interesting top 10 we had here today. Briscoe taking home his first win in the Cup Series. So that was exciting. First Stuart Haas win in quite a while.
yeah, that's true.
So followed by Chastain, also having a great year. Was number
Yeah,
3 last week. Almost won today.
yeah.
And also following right behind Reddit. No Hendricks cars in the top 10 this
Who
week.
who bet that on Vegas or Clint Boyer's little win some $20
Nobody.
betting thing? Nobody saw that
Nobody.
coming, and they look strong. I remember early on it was like, oh, they're all right about the top 10 right now. And
Yeah, and Chase also looking like he had a chance to win, but
yeah, they were a threat for most of the race until that last. It was kind of interesting today. It felt like at the end it kind of shuffled out in a weird organic way where a lot of people were there at the end that would like you didn't see coming, and then those guys kind of fell off. Larson had the issue, which I was kind of saying I thought was kind of weird. He it was a valve spring issue is what they claimed. The interview lady asked him about it, and he kind of like blew her off a little bit. So they were shifting today, which might have been culprit somehow, possibly. I'm not sure. A little more wear on the motor for sure.
yeah.
So I don't know what's up with that, but it was interesting to see, and like just out of the race, he's a goner, and like surely enough, nobody else came home top 10. I'm happy to see it, but I'm just as happy to see new faces.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that feels great, especially this early on in the season. It's felt like there's been new people in the mix.
Absolutely. Some definite unusual teams here
Yeah.
in the top 10. Like we said, Stuart Haas, all 4 of their cars finishing in the top 16.
Yeah,
So great day for them.
yeah, it's
Which-
good to see.
Yeah, definitely good to see.
And there are the four cars looking good. One of the announcers, I think it was Larry Mack, mentioned that the Toyotas need a little catching up to do, and I think that's not too far off. They don't seem to be able to hang as tough as those other two right now after a couple shows or whatever.
Yeah, we did have 2 Toyotas in the top 10. Kurt Busch pulling off a pretty remarkable
All right.
number 5 finish, and Kyle close behind in number 7. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the Toyotas just are not performing as well this year.
It would seem, and it's it's also been interesting thus far because every week it's been a different kind of track too. So in processing that with a new car, it's like I'm sure everybody's scrambling, but it does appear that they're not running as good on the long runs. Maybe I think that's kind of been a Toyota thing, unfortunately. Although they are usually above Ford in performance and wins and stuff, it's a long run cars and endurance sometimes where they fall a little bit short. But yeah, I guess all kinds of shakeups are to be expected with all the new technology going on right
Yeah, and also Trackhouse continuing to have a great year.
Yeah.
Both of their cars finishing in the top 10. Chastain, of course, finishing number 2, and Suarez in the number 9 position.
now. Yeah.
And interesting stat, they have finished in the top 4 for every race this year except for Daytona. So
Wow. That's very
and this
impressive.
is their second year.
Wow, that's
Or
incredible.
I think it's their second year. Obviously, just moving up to a 2-car team, and Chastain obviously proving to be a great asset for them.
Hey, if 2-car teams can come in and perform and get a good showing, that bodes well. That bodes well. Because it comes down a lot of times to the big giants, and the two or three teams that
Yeah.
we all know and love take away a lot of big lion's share of the wins in races. But so it's great to see, especially coming in on E-Tech again. They're gonna hit that one home, but it's a new cycle. So to see them do that amidst that is fantastic and looks really really great for the year coming.
Yeah. Some other commentary on the race, we saw Rowdy with the interesting start to the race,
Yep.
taking advantage of the apron right off of the bat.
Wild, old school Rowdy.
Yes, which we saw every other driver subsequently use in every other restart.
Yeah, it looked a lot shorter from what they were mentioning about it on the thing, and it's no other track really has any kind of bizarre short track. That's some stuff that felt like I'm doing a video game back in the day. Like it's a wild line to see.
It's a Mario Kart shortcut.
Yeah. It's got that King Koopa maneuver coming through on the inside. It was wild.
One of the other things we were talking about during the broadcast is the ridiculous cartoon driver graphics.
Those gotta go, man. Those are whack.
They're awful.
Those are done.
So many of them don't even look like the driver, and they look like Marvel superheroes to the point where they have visible abs on their fire suits, which is just bizarre.
They're all beefed up. Joey Logano's all ripped up, looking like he's ready for a Marvel movie out here.
It really is comical, and
it's crazy looking.
How about you just show us images of their cars? I could stand to see some more paint schemes.
Fans of car coverage here.
Yeah, let's just ditch the superhero cartoons.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Where Fox kind of feels a little bit silly at times, but
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but overall the broadcast was pretty good. Second week with Danica.
Yeah, I thought Danica was great. I feel like she's kind of doing well there in that role. A little bit more today. I think she even had like a little piece in the intro part, pre-race stuff. Mm-hmm. And she fits good. She comes off pretty like relaxed and chill. I mean, she always used to come off a little bit kind of tense and like a little high strung, but maybe that was just her like racing and stuff and like not being able to win their races with NASCAR. But she's good in the booth. Hey, that's what it's about now for her, so it's good to see. No, that's it. I want to give it a digger rating for the week.
Yeah, what do you think? Maybe 3.5 diggers?
Yeah, I might just go to 4.
Maybe
I think I'm gonna go to 4.
4 diggers?
4 full diggers on this week's race because, like I said, there's a lot of promising new blood coming in. Mm-hmm. Feels like everything's kind of been shaken up, and it is exciting. And Phoenix always produces interesting racing. And today was also of note, maybe a little, because it was very clean racing. Too. It was not a lot of wrecks, not a lot of incidents, none of this, not too much tire stuff. If someone got a flat, they were stuck. But other than that, I mean,
yeah, clearly working out the kinks with the new car. Drastically fewer tire issues this week. So
yeah, overall, I was I'm starting to feel confident in this wave of like, hey, this is looking really good this year. So I'm on board for it, and that explains my 4. I might not always throw out a 4 or a 5, but I'm going to do it just based on my enthusiasm for this week. So, yeah. And then, of course, after digger rating, we got to talk about a little bit of this paint. This week, we did a little bit abbreviated, I feel, because, look, man, we're going to be talking about a lot of the same cars all the time. We could just make a top 4 or 5 of almost the same cars weekly. Mm-hmm. It's a bit of a bummer. We're hoping maybe there's a wave of making paint great again. And maybe that's where I'll listen, because they should be exciting looking. So, hence why we make it a part of our show. But this week, we're just going to do a truncated version of it, if you will.
Now that the season's well underway, there's a lot of repeat paint schemes. So
slim pickings.
Yeah. Anyway, surprising shock of the week: the best paint scheme, pulling off the impossible. Hendricks.
Wow.
Actually had a great paint scheme. Kyle Larson. Unfortunately, I thought this paint scheme would clinch the win for him, but it wasn't to be. But still, that Valvoline car was looking like a winner.
It's something about a doggone Valvoline car that looks really good in NASCAR. And it's like, it's almost it's too good to fail. Yeah. It's like a too good to fail spot. It's red, white, and blue, and there's classic logos that are still the same ones I remember when we were kids. And it looks great, man. It's so good looking. But so part of the theory too was that we dog them out so hard for their regular ones, and we also mentioned that their occasional ones are some of the coolest. Yeah. We've talked about our love Chase's Hooters car, where orange and black, Bengals, of course. going to always gravitate. They always make our list. So yeah, it's awesome to see great paint when it's out there. So I gotta give it up, even though we like to dog out those boys.
But credit where credit is due. Hendrick, you pulled it off this week.
You did good.
Congratulations.
Good job, Mr. H.
All right. Following up, number 2, another strong contender for best paint of the week. We had Busher in the 17, the IT Savvy car.
Yes.
An orange car, of course.
Guilty.
Beloved here with this audience.
Wow.
It had a unique background where it looked like a circuit board or something.
It was another cool, subtle, when you get up close to it, you like, oh, little cool details you don't see.
Something extra, not just solid orange, and making great use of those beautiful metallic numbers.
Yes. The metallic numbers all day long, they're going to hit the list. They're probably going to show up a lot.
Yeah.
It makes a little extra thing for it, which is great. And it's about popping off the screen.
Yeah, it's just a little extra zazz. And we were wondering what the rules were exactly for that reflective material. Because we, so far, have only seen it on the side numbers.
Yeah.
Never on the roof numbers or...
decals on, like, the hood or stuff. Like, back in the day, maybe you would see that more.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just, like, kind of an old school thing and people don't want to mess with it. I also threw out a wild notion earlier, maybe for night races or an all-star race. They did it at the Bristol All-Star, which was, 2 years ago, I think. The undercarriage, like, do the LED on the roof number.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a wild idea. Or, like, a Coliseum race or something if it was at night. All-star race, I think.
Some sort of NASCAR type theatrical event.
one of the shows, man. One of the shows should have that. Try it out. I think it would be groovy. Yeah.
Very eye-catching, so yeah, all for that.
But yeah, let us know about metallic numbers if anybody knows. Or prismatic, maybe. That would be cool, too.
Yeah. Anyway, number 3, 47, we've got Stenhouse in the NASCAR with the fries on the hood instead of Kroger.
Yep.
But yeah.
The old switcheroony on the local grocery store again. But it kind of just overall just mostly looked like a NASCAR.
Yeah.
The front graphic was real low on the hood, which was kind of interesting. But yeah, it just from afar, just boop, NAS.
Yeah, it looked like a NASCAR.
No,
That's
that
getting
is
the bulk of the attention.
Plus delicious citrus energy drink they used to sponsor Kyle Busch is what that is.
So we've got some nostalgia love for NAS left over from
the
Rowdy.
glory. Yep.
So. And then coming in 4th on our list, we have Hendricks in the number 2 Auto Trader car. Yet another orange and blue.
This is starting to maybe get in a little bit of seeing a lot of the same stuff. Wasn't like we've seen it first of all, that's the other hard part is we're seeing it a lot of these, but it's just a solid one and it's definitely more recognizable than a lot of the white, blue, basic ones.
And then rounding out our list in number 5, previous winner and still a beautiful car, Kozlowski and the Violet Defense. Again, utilizing the metallic numbers. RFK is having a spectacular year paint-wise.
Dude, they're top of the pops pretty much off of this one. I mean, it's probably hands down the most eye-catching, memorable paint scheme of the year. Just the neons and the bright colors, it's immediately eye-catching. Like, I think the first time I was like, what is that? Like, hey, it's winning the race in my book so far. I'm not a Kozlowski fan so much, but man, hey, good on him for having a great looking car. Absolutely, man, beautiful.
And love the neon. Neon's so eye-catching.
Bring back neon.
Yeah.
All the old school neon.
Woefully underutilized, and of course, we love to see some harkening back to Days of Thunder.
Hey, there we go. We see those in the throwback race, which we're huge fans of because we get to see a change up, a mix them up. We also said today that just do a variation, flip the colors in and out sometimes, and it might be.
Yeah.
As long as it's got the same door number, we all know what to look for at this point.
But if you're gonna be running one sponsor for the bulk of your races, why do the same paint scheme every week? Change it up. Like you said, just alternate the colors.
Yeah.
Something.
Absolutely.
Make it a little more interesting. Bring some more attention to your brand. That's why you're paying millions of dollars, right? You want people to look at you and notice you. Come on.
Take a look.
Anyway, we felt the worst paint scheme of the week. Surprising for us, big disappointment, the number 16. this week was being driven by Allmendinger
Yep.
for Action Industries.
Yeah.
It's a mostly white car. It's pretty underwhelming. And like I said, disappointing because the 16 has actually previously made our best of list twice.
Yeah, we're just having to dole out some weird punishments and rewards this week for people, but we're gonna hold people to the standards we expect from them. So that's why we decided to take aim at this one and also redundancy and trying to avoid it.
Yes, but like I said, the previous good paint schemes for 16 were Daniel Hemrick.
Oh right, it's a driver's
And
change, huh?
Yes, it was a driver change-up, and now Allmendinger, unfortunately, is not having the same luck in the paint department. Although,
Didn't get the good graces.
yeah, not sure what's going on there, but we did notice one of the small sponsors on his car was Hyper Ice.
Hyper Ice.
Which is an interesting sponsor. They were a main sponsor on Allmendinger's hood last year.
Man.
We'll see if there's another Hyper Ice car this year. It's a very interesting sponsor.
Yeah,
You might want to Google it because that's what we did last year, not knowing what it was. And it was a little bit surprising.
It's a little spicy. It's a little
Yeah.
Allmendinger's keeping it spicy. He's had a spicy history.
Not
It's-
what one would expect from a NASCAR sponsor.
Right, not at all. You can feel free to Google that. Check it out. But it's it's also interesting that Allmendinger always seems to bop around and kind of weird.
Yeah.
He'll end up in like Xfinity for a minute, or
Doing a little bit of everything.
yeah, he's a wheelman, and God love him for just staying out there and just doing what he does forever and ever. So he's also got a lot of talent. I'm not always sure with him whether it's like opportunities or what it is, but he's certainly an interesting driver, and I actually think he's got a pretty interesting career for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's the abbreviated paint for this week then. Yeah, it was like we said, it's a lot of the same, and we don't want to blah 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 do all that. So we'll keep it tight for you guys this week on the short one. Just glad to be out here in the garage. Hopefully we can take off the winter jackets here in another week or two.
Yeah.
We're moving out of the
Spring's just around
Midwest.
the corner, so
Yep.
hopefully.
Moving out to back east coming up. We're going to Atlanta.
Atlanta next week.
Next
Looking
week.
forward to that one.
Absolutely. I just watched a whole thing about how they dug it up the track and put in 4 degrees more banking in the turns.
Yeah.
They tried to say it was pretty significant, so we'll see how that plays. It's
Got a whole
obviously
new track to look
shake
forward
it
to.
up. Shake it up. The more shake-ups, the better, and I think I'm loving it. I feel almost kind of overwhelmed sometimes with the changes in the last 2 years because it was so cut and dry and cookie cutter for a long time, and to the point now where I'm confused. Like, oh, that happened too. Like, wow, great, awesome, cool. Let's do it. Like, all new stuff, man.
Yeah.
So we're gonna come at you again and again. Talk about paint. We'll talk about racing, all that good stuff. Like, subscribe, share, all the good YouTube stuff. Of course. Won't beat you over the head with that. But we'll catch you again next week for the Atlanta race, guys. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Amen.